Welcome back to Roadside Nuggets, everybody. This is George with 5D Full Disclosure. How's everybody doing? It's been a long weekend and start of the week. Energy is definitely ramping up as usual, as we usually talk about. Just want to really press in on the February 22nd portal date. That is literally 7 days. 7 days away. But there's also something that's going to occur apparently with the sun in about 4 days. So the sun is going to add a massive energetic boost to this coming portal date on the 22nd. So for everybody, if you are not moving your biscuits in divine alignment, getting yourself moving, getting that momentum up, the motivation, inspiring yourself, getting yourself in flow, it's going to get increasingly more intense for you. Probably more anxiety and panic. But definitely the collective is definitely responding that way because this energy is, in a lot of ways, it's increasing intensely. And of course, the sun is going to add to that in about 4 days. But also there's this phenomenon about switching of tables, right? This concept of switching the tables on the energy. For a long time, a lot of us are stuck in these certain behavioral patterns, certain perspectives, certain ways of viewing things, right? And so sometimes until you can get into the other flip side of how that looks, or in the other person's shoes, so to speak, see the outside of what the energy looks like to other people, a lot of times people don't get it, right? And so they still feel justified in doing the same things. So this new interesting energy coming in about switching of tables is going to start getting more stronger now going forward, where it's going to start switching the experience for everyone. Where you normally would be the instigator or the pursuer or the initiator of anything, and now it's going to be flipped on you. Now you are going to be the receiver of that energy, so you can see the outside experience of that, and that's going to help people really click things in place. And it's important too because it's not to like scare anybody or get anyone in anxiety, but at the same time, like, you can't see what you're doing to hurt other people or yourself until you can see a different point of view, right? And then that's probably one of the biggest ways where everyone's closed off, because everyone is, either people are self-taught, people are arrogant, people have very deep belief systems, or people have a lot of deep rules or just rigid ways of lifestyles and ways of being that they don't allow flexibility. They don't allow change. They don't allow growth in their intellectual capacity or really just their way of seeing life or other people. It just stays very rigid and the same for long years, right? And so it actually stifles that being's ability to grow and expand and heal because they don't ever let any other information in. It's only what they want to see. It's only what they want to allow. It's only what they're comfortable with. It's only what they are interested in at the time. But let's look at the facts. What you're interested in is just what appeases you, what makes you comfortable, what makes you satisfied. That's what you're interested in. It's not exactly what interests you. Without the trauma, without the fear and the anxiety and the panic and paranoia, what kind of person would you be? Would you still be that? No. You'd probably be a lot more interested in other things, but because you're trapped by your own dysfunction, by your own traumas and fears, it's like so much of life is stifled off. It's cut off from you. You can't experience it, right? People complain that they're not happy. They can't get motivated, or things are just, the world just not, able to help them do it anymore. They just want to quit and die, or whatever the reason is. It's like you're not looking at yourself. You are the block. You are the filter that's keeping all creation, because creation's in 100% pure consciousness. 100% pure high vibrations. Creation is always moving nonstop. Humanity are the only species on this planet that try to pull back from that experience and try to basically putting stakes, trying to literally put a foundation and not move it ever. They want something to be cement, to be permanent. And life, everything. You look at the seasons, the plants, everything on this. You look at yourself, the animals around us, everything changes. Every single day, month, year, nothing ever stops from changing. So the fact that we have this attachment or this inner, fear-based thing where we want to create something that doesn't change, and that's what we base our stability off of. That's what we base our life off of that. Okay, well, we can retire and this is good, and we can just live the rest of our days like this and not worry about anything. Everything's paid. We got the medical, got this and that. It's like we want to create some kind of box that doesn't change because so much around our life is changing and we don't understand it. We're scared of it. We're fighting it. We're not surrendering to it. And it's just, it doesn't make sense, right? So now, basically what the Galactics were sharing is that the collective has reached a certain point now in the collective understanding where the collective is at and how much we have gone in our contracts. We have come to understand as much as we possibly can in that way, to where now things are going to switch to a new mode going forward, where it's going to switch literally the tables around. So again, where your normal experience would be, now you're going to start seeing the flip side of yourself. You know, where normally you would be the one doing this, now you're going to experience someone doing this to you. And it's going to provide perspective for everyone on this planet. It's going to fill in the gap because so much is linear, so much is one way, so much is not equal energy exchange, so we only know one way. But until the tables change and we are in direct fire of the opposite experience, now we are going to understand equal energy exchange. Back and forth, what you give, you get. And now this is going to fill in clarity for everyone on a consciousness level. Of course, there's different waves. There's different parts of the collective that will get this energy first, go through experience and changes, and then it will trickle out. So I'm not saying all the billions of people on this planet are going to go through this experience now. This is pretty much for the first and second waivers. It is going to accelerate everyone very, very fast. Because, let's look at it. You know, everyone has gone through as much work as possible that in their own capacity, you know, until they are motivated in different ways, until they can see or really resonate, until they can feel that. Nothing's going to really stir the internal to really get going, right? It's like a dead battery. It needs sustenance, it needs fuel, it needs animation, it needs information to complete the cycle so it can continue moving through, right? And so that's what the switching of tables energy is going to be about, is it's going to provide us that other piece where we've been closed off from, we've been in control of pushing away, externalizing, deflecting and denying, pretending it's not true, and fantasy so we couldn't ever accept it. All those things will now be a part of this experience coming at you to give you the other piece of what you're missing, right? Once you can feel, experience it, go through it, or even on a mental level, understand it, it's very easy for us to make a new choice, right? It's very easy for it to maneuver to a different channel or a different flow once we see it's not going to work out. At this point, the collective's been pressed. And this energy that's going to build up is going to really strain the collective's physical capacity in a lot of ways, or the physical body is going to get run down in a lot of ways. And this is where, again, every single time we talk about water, grounding, making sure you are resting, make sure you're slowing down, not pushing yourself, not making sure you're neglecting your physical health or well-being. These things are going to start catching up to everyone, right? That is not putting this into practice. It's not making this a focal point or even an importance to yourself and self-love. This is now going to become a lesson for you to learn this part of self-love. That's not, you are not going to ascend, you are not going to evolve, you're not going to embody more of your higher self if you cannot take care of your physical body in more higher divine ways. You're a hypocrite. You're a fraud. You're pretending to act a certain way, but you are not embodying that for yourself. And that does have what we say consequences, of course, in the lower, but also in the higher, just karma, which are lessons. You need to understand why it is highest to take more care of yourself. You need to understand why it's highest to have that self-love, self-reflection, to be able to encourage yourself, to motivate yourself. You need to understand why that's important. If you don't, the lessons are going to come to help you. So it's nothing bad, it's nothing to intimidate you, but it's something you have to learn. You cannot move forward in higher love if you can't learn to give that to yourself. It is literally a lie. God didn't give birth to liars. So again, everyone on this planet is going to get put through all these tests where we're going to learn through the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, and the physical how to apply this in every single way. Nothing is neglected. We are all one in yourself first, and of course, all of us together, we are all one as well. That mirror, that understanding has got to be embodied in yourself first. Before you start looking around, before you start pointing fingers or expecting other people to be that image, like, are you doing it? Are you fulfilling it? Is this important to you to follow through with? Because if it's not, what you are going to be manifesting very, very quickly, especially after the 20 seconds and 7 days. Very hard, everyone. It has not happened in 246 years. So, literally put 246 years, the beginning of that, and now, on the 22nd of February, basically like two little pincers. They're going to squeeze everything that humanity has been through, gone through, spit out, just shit on ourselves, absolutely gone the wrong way with in the last 246 years, all that's about to get squeezed together. And everything that is a cycle, everything that is procrastination, everything has been left out of the loop that is not allowing humanity to move forward or understand our lessons or reach a higher timeline. It is all going to get exploded out like a volcano coming from that 20-second portal, okay? This is a massive set intention, of course, cosmically, galactically, by prime source creator, angels, that basically it was a big, deep, dark part, of the last 246 years of pushing all this darkness out. And now basically look at it as this massive cycle now coming back around to the end, right? In 246 years, we've come back around to this point in the circle, and we're completing it now. So on the 22nd of February, when that portal opens, and of course a couple days before, the energy is going to be releasing and pushing all this stuff that we have accumulated in this cycle out. It's time to look at it. It's time to transform it. It's whatever cannot be spiritually, mentally, or emotionally dissolved or transformed in the collective by the time this energy comes out, it will drop to a very physical experience where the collective can catch on the physical level, and we will have to embrace that, if that makes sense. So where everyone talks about, what's going to go on in our world, the government, everything going on, whatever we as a collective have not worked through in the last year, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, the lessons cannot wait any longer. We cannot go through that cycle again. So now, as this cycle completes, it now will drop to a physical, because we need a very physical, real, tangible, in-our-face experience to get us to understand or to see or to shift ourselves into a different direction. And so that is what we are manifesting as well. So definitely this is not playtime. The angels were very adamant about procrastination. Anything you have been procrastinating on, you've been just kind of holding back on, and you consciously have known this, time is up now. There's no more time. Okay? So again, this is where we will learn the deepest levels of forgiveness for ourselves when we are experiencing these deep, very fast transformations. As it comes up, it triggers off. As that ego comes for you, it's going to be fast and hardcore now, but now you're going to have to learn to forgive much more now, because you waited too long, you put it off, you chose neglect, you chose self-hatred, you chose denial, you chose numbness. Now it's coming back in more intensity because you have to get through it in order to make it through the marker. There's no cheating in heaven. There's no getting by on a whim. No. Everyone is fully accountable for your soul contract, your energies, and what you have to heal. Nobody else can take that on for you, right? And so, of course, in the collective, we can shoulder a lot of that energy by everyone sharing that collective consciousness, and we can confirm, as people level up, as people wake up, we can help lift that ceiling higher, and we can carry the collective more by just keep going through the process again and again and again and again, right? That's also where consistency is going to come in place, right? It's going to feel really, 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 really tiring before it starts to speed up. And it's because the collective is shouldering different levels of weight right now. The first waivers and the second waivers, of course, are shouldering the rest of the collective. And so as we keep finishing the process, it's almost like some of these things keep coming back up again. and it's causing an agitation, it's causing an irritation. But we also have to have the bigger picture perspective. There are 8 billion people on this planet. Of course, it could be less who has a soul. However, at that point, they also have to make it too. And how asleep, how numb, how detached from their self, disassociated they are from themselves. Every single time you finish that process, every time you forgive that again in yourself, every time you go through that thought process, every time you go through that fear, every time you keep pushing, being courageous, being brave, forgiving it, having faith and trust in yourself, and just keep continuing that process, you are making the weight on those people in that third wave lighter and lighter and lighter, and they are able to, in buoyancy of energy, bobble up higher in that frequency until they can actually eventually wake up, right? So again, the irritation, the stress, the lack of patience that a lot of people on this planet are going through right now, you're going to have to get your balls and you're going to have to deal with it, okay? This is where you show how divine you are, that divinity is patience. Divinity is tolerance, okay? And if you cannot show or practice that, then it doesn't matter what else you've mastered. It doesn't matter what else you've got. It doesn't matter what else you've done. If you cannot fully embody your divinity, it's not divinity, right? So again, everyone gets these tests too, that you have to show patience, forgiveness, compassion, divine tolerance for different things, even if it's not in alignment, even if it is so left field and out of whack. Can you still tolerate it? Because that means you're not attached. That means you're holding space for the higher timeline. That means you're sending love to it. But if you're over here blowing up inside like a volcano, that means you're not doing any of those. That means you failed that test. Go back around, complete again. Let's start again. You get it? You have to pass everything. And so this is where we've manifested this very fast track, this roller coaster, where it is the flip side now. Of course. It's the, like they're learning to, pull your energy back. It's the learning to hold yourself accountable. It's learning to be in integrity, of course. Have you practiced forgiveness, though? Compassion. Holding space. All those different things. Prayer. When was the last time you prayed? Was the last time you actually were consistent or disciplined with prayer at all and actually intentionalized anything for yourself, for the collective, for this planet, the highest timeline, anything? Right? Because prayer is powerful energy. And that moves powerful energy through the collective. Because prayer is through what? Imagination, visualization. Is through thought, ideas, and imagination. So that covers spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. All of those levels are completely drenched in prayer energy every time anyone taps into prayer. Sending love and blessings and light, emerald green, violet, purple, golden rainbow light to the collective, diamond rays, anything, plasma rays, whatever. But the fact that you choose to do that with your own energy, with your own moments, with your own consciousness, with your own, voice, if you choose to say it out loud, your own imagination, and creating all the beautiful flows of energy and the flowers and the 5D visions, everything that you are sending to the collective, you are choosing to do that with your own energy. So why would that not be important to creation? Why would God not hold that in the highest importance? Right? You see, it's how much we belittle ourselves. These simple things that we can do have massive, big impacts if you just choose to do it. But if everyone sits around saying like, oh, well, yeah, I can do that. I can pray. I can visualize a higher timeline for collective. But if you don't do it, that means it doesn't matter if you think you can do it. It doesn't matter if you know you can do it. You're not doing it. And that's the difference. That's the biggest problem on this planet with a lot of humanity, is like they think they can do it. They think they know that they can do it. It's in their capacity, or they've done it before. They're trained or whatever. But the actual fact of the matter is, present moment, are you doing it now? Because if you're not doing it now, if you didn't do it yesterday or last week, or if you're not putting it into practice where it's consistent, you're not doing it at all. Waste of energy, waste of effort, waste of divine intelligence to sit there and be a computer, to suck up information just to say, oh, I know that, but you're not going to do anything with it. That's whore energy. That's taking energy. You are just siphoning things from creation, but you're not giving anything back. You're not helping yourself. And that is selfish. It's horror. It's betrayal to yourself and love and everything. Right? All of this has to get called into Galactic Tribunal, is what they called it. It's funny. We used to have tribunals a couple years ago. Those were quite a show. You'll have to wait for the tapes for those. They were really good. Moving forward. So, Galactic Tribunal, basically, Angels Express. That specific energy. What lessons have not been completed are now being called into galactic focus. They shared... let's see. Oh, okay. And there was like the switching of tables, opposite experience, of course, to understand contrast. And also give us a balance in that contrast so we can see both sides of the experience, and then we can dissolve that dysfunction or trauma or cycle loop. Wild card energy is still in effect. February 22nd, 7 days away. We already shared that. Pluto return, 246 years. Yes, we shared that as well. And then we shared about the sun. All right. Where are we out in time? 22 minutes. That was a lot of information that short time. Awesome. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Angels. All right, let's go over the calendar. So, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, on a Wednesday, we have the full moon, of course. So, make sure you do your full moon ceremonies. Full moon ceremonies, and I feel, okay, so they want me to talk about full moon ceremonies. Full moon ceremonies are completions, okay? It's the end of the cycle. And it's funny, we were talking about end of cycles today. Full moons are the completion, the ending, the fruition, or just that you're completely just like, you're ready to evolve, shift up to another experience. So the full moon is for those kinds of experiences. New moons is when we talk about beginnings, when we talk about new ideas, new creations, or new efforts, new adventures in life, or anything like that. That would be with a new moon. Full moons are the end of those things. So if you're ready to finish things, heal things, let things go, cut cords, or whatever like that, full moons are very powerful to do that. Also, we have a paint party tomorrow as well. So anyone who wants to join in that, stay tuned. And then as well on the 17th, which is Thursday, we will be back. Live stream will be very early that day. Instead of being around 7:30, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, it's going to be around 6 p.m. Eastern Time that day, a little bit earlier, because we also have the Quantum Healing workshop course that will be starting after that. So anyone who's signing up for that, we will send a link in. Actually, I can send a link now in there. But if you haven't signed up for that, or basically there's a live stream they put out already that explains the workshop. But anyone who's been involved in Reiki or any kind of like, even everyone, Voodoo, Santeria, all of it, you name it, come join us. It's going to be fun, right? So we're going to get back to the basics, the simplicities of energy, and just get all the jargon funk out and all the belief systems, the fantasies, the giving power to deities and these extra gods, all this crap. All the crap, okay? We're going to throw it away, and we're going to go back to square one, and we're going to empower everyone. We're going to give the power back to ourselves, and we're going to learn how to work with the Galactics. We'll learn how to work with these energies in creation when you are empowered, because everyone is equal, everyone's on the same page, and even through prayer, there's so much unworthiness even through prayer the angels are explaining too. We should probably talk about that. It's like you're not talking to this higher than yourself thing. You're not, this low scum. You're not a piece of crap. Like a lot of times you have to look at, when you pray, when you actually go to share things, like, do you share as a friend with God? This is a serious question. When you talk to God or when you talk to your angels, do you share as a friend? Or is it like you're looking up to someone higher than yourself, or someone so beyond and galactic and starry that you could never hope to be that image, but they'll talk to you? Like, what is the experience you go through when you are tapping into your angels or praying or even feeling into God or anything like that? It's like, do you feel on the same level? Do you feel equal? Do you feel like you have equal contribution, no matter who they are or where they are, that you could bring equal amount of love to the table, right? See, this is a serious concept, a serious disease within humanity where the spiritual lightworker community got massively hijacked with this. Giving power and all this hocus pocus to these different beings and stuff like that. And it's like, no, you lost the whole point, right? If you were going to work with anyone, with any of the Galactics, if you're going to channel any of those people, you are on the same page as them. You are equal. They are your brother and sister in Galactics. They're your Galactic brother and sister, right? So, again, perspective is everything, and how you see things, how you feel about things is everything. It will change everything about the energy. So if we're going to keep being these unworthy, lowly human beings down here that aren't divine, aren't part of God, aren't down here co-creating anything, aren't bringing in heaven, new earth, aren't going through the last ascension of all of creation, like we're just down here just some bums on a log, we're not going to actually get to that level where we can actually see that vision. You feel me? You got to start working through the unworthiness, the feeling like just like we're not the same. Humanity is so deeply loved by creation. Okay, all of creation is actually paying attention to this planet right here. When you talk about a universe, let's talk about multiple universes, the multiverse itself. Everyone in creation, no matter where they are, is in full attendance to what is happening on this planet. Why? Most of creation isn't actually physical. The way we can touch and drink water and write on pages and do different things, that's not a possibility in their worlds, in their experience. When humanity makes this jump to 5D, bringing physicality into the etheric, merging that gap, it is going to cause a spread through creation to bring physicality across the universes. We affect the rest of creation itself as much as they affect us with their love. That is why they care. That's why they are here. That's why they support us. That's why they are paying attention and helping in any way they can with humanity, not to overstep us, not to push us down any roads or anything like that, but just to support and assist where they can. That's why they're all paying attention. This is the biggest thing ever. The biggest movie show in creation and heaven you could possibly dream of is happening right now. From physicality all the way to the etheric, right now on this planet, all the way down to the inner earth, the rainbow crystal core, all of it. This is entirely a massive movie. And everyone's watching. Jaws dropped, eyes wide open. It's exhilarating. What is humanity going to choose? When will they choose it? What's going to happen? Oh, what's happening right now? Are they going to make it through? Are they going to fall back? Are they going to resist? Are they going to surrender? Are they going to love? Are they going to trust? Are they going to push through? It's the biggest freaking movie in creation that all the angels are watching us. They're in there helping out. They want the grandest tale. They want the biggest, the bestest, the hugest light show you can possibly imagine. God is going through this whole thing completely thrilled. At the exhilaration of the story we are building for ourselves, that when we look at this whole story, it is going to show how amazing and powerful humanity is. Stop looking at all the dark stuff. Stop getting lost and focused on all the crap and the things that we've done, the things that we just want to blame each other for, the cabal, the Illuminati, every single... You got to get to the point where it's like you realize it's a part of the show. Laugh at it. Let it go. It does not affect you unless you choose to let it affect you. At some point, you got to choose it. Everyone's innocent, right? Are you ready for that fact, humanity? That's going to be a hard pill for everyone to swallow. If you still think someone on this planet is to blame for all the misery, that you were the victim, that it happened to you, that life is just such a sad story, it's going to be a hard lesson for you. You're going to have to let it go and realize that everyone is innocent, so whatever's blame, whatever's pointing outside yourself, whatever's externalized, nope. Take accountability for it. And it's not to say it's your fault. And I want to clarify that. When you take accountability, responsibility for something, it's not to say that it's your fault. And maybe that's the guilt and shame that a lot of people have. That's the resistance where, of course, the highest is to take accountability and responsibility for it, but then there's that resistance, the denial of it. Why? Because you feel guilty or shameful. You don't need to feel that way. Let the guilt and shame go, right? Just take accountability for the energy because it has to go to someone. Someone has to say, okay, I will love this energy Come to me, yes, let's embrace and hug, okay, I love you, right? And just love it back into the highest, right? It does not matter whose fault it is. Stop with the freaking fingers, right? And I don't know who that was. It was kind of funny. Stop with the fingers. No pointing. No more pointing. Let go of all the blame, the projection, the throwing of energy. We got to get to a point where we realize that whatever comes out, whatever happens, we just got to figure out that, like, we see it as like almost like a in the moment game plan. Like, we're watching things, and it's like the angels are bringing experiences in every single moment, right? We got to be like the football players, the angel football players. And we got to grab the ball as soon as it's passed to us, but you don't know when it's going to be passed to us. And I'm saying it's so hilarious because I absolutely hate football. I don't watch sports. I don't care for sports. It doesn't really interest me. I don't even understand how football really works at this point. So, like, without even making a reference to football, it's actually funny. But just the visual of, us, humanity, being galactic angel football players, and the angels are passing us balls all the time, and we're missing them, we're fumbling, we're completely looking the opposite way, and they're like, yo, you're not paying attention. We gotta get pulled back into ourselves, right, and get more present with this thing, because things are gonna speed up, right? The lessons are gonna come faster. You're gonna have to dip in, and remember the dipping in and dipping out energy, right? It's a very quick exchange of hands. We're gonna dip into the experience, get blasted with it, and then we're gonna pull out, right? And it's not really something that we're gonna manually do. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna start realizing a lot of things are happening, but if you step back for a moment, you realize they're happening quickly, right? They're not sticking around forever. They're not lasting a week. They're not lasting 2 months. Everything that's happening right now is very fast in motion. So it feels overwhelming. It feels extreme now for the moment. Then it's going to switch to something else. Then you'll be in another experience, or something else will trigger you. Something else will come up. You'll have to release or forgive or cry, whatever, right? But you're going to notice in the bigger picture, it's a lot of different things happening fast, back to back, right? And it's because we have to clear it all now. These are the residuals. These are the remnants. The little bits of the things that we did not go through, we did not process, we did not fully forgive, we didn't fully detach, we didn't fully, love ourselves through and have compassion and nurturing. We chose to be brutal, we chose to be controlling, we chose to be forceful, just getting through it. And that was not showing that we passed the test. So all those little markers that we procrastinated or we kind of bypassed to skirt around it, we're getting rerouted back around one final time. And that's all getting brought up all at once. We have no more time to bypass it or get around it. And that's exactly why it's happening the way it is. So there's not enough time for the ego to avert it. Okay? So massive blessing, awesome experiences. Thank you, angels and Prime Source, for everything that's going on. I do not have the... Actually, let me look at this. So the February 15, 2022 horoscope, the waxing moon in Leo isn't making any major planetary aspects aside from opposition to Saturn. When the moon and Saturn oppose each other, it can make us feel like we aren't being seen or appreciated by those we care about most. You might feel that people who normally pay attention to you are putting you on the back burner so they can focus on more important relationships and issues. Keep in heart that this energy is contagious, and you could be guilty of doing the same thing to others. Oh, there we go. See, that's the flipping of tables energy right there. Let me repeat that. So it says, keep in heart that this energy is contagious, and you could be guilty of doing the same thing to others. That's why it's essential to understand your part in the situation. You might be the one who is prolonging the vibe that haunts you in the other relationships and friendships. You might be guilty of creating the drama that seems to follow you wherever you go. See, this is exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of the stream. That flipping of tables, like a lot of times we need to see it from the other side. And we might be guilty of the ones doing it to other people all the time. Then until it's like actually done back to us and we experience that flip of it, we don't ever make that connect. Like, oh, I don't like that, or like, oh, that's fucked up, or that's abusive, or that's like, we don't see what that is or how it feels after it's done to us. So awesome. That energy is coming through for us all. Um, consciously choose to lead with kindness today and allow others to experience their emotions on their own. By giving them and yourself space, you'll be able to process all the feelings weighing on your heart. Then you can then you can all move forward in a healthy direction toward a brighter and better future. And also, why is this energy important? Because this year is a 6 year, so again, it's the collective moving through a massive energy of deeper layers of healing the relationships, connections, communications with each other, with the self. So as this is relative, it's important for everyone to kind of like have as much compassion as possible and work on that every day. Work on your own compassion, holding space, forgiveness. Work on divine non-attachment for yourself, and just get better at it, right? And you're gonna see it's gonna help you do it more and more for everyone else. But it's important to give everyone just kind of like that bubble of space. Let them, whatever it looks like, however it comes out. Don't judge it. Don't try to label it or anything like that. Let it be however it is, because the more people try to throw energy at this stuff, you're gonna start delaying people or pushing people back into it, right? They need the safety to express the energy, and a lot of times until they can experience it or see it for themselves or hear it or sense it for themselves, a lot of times it doesn't actually click for the body to recognize it. And so a lot of times we just got to get out of people's way, get out of each other's way, and just don't pay attention, don't attach. If it's a crazy day, it's a crazy day. If everyone's at each other's throats and people are very aggressive, then that's the kind of day it is. Don't sit there and be like, oh my god, what's going on? What's happening? It's like, you understand it has to play out at some point, so you're going to see it at some point. So don't be a victim when it comes out, because then now you're going to create a more problem for yourself later, right? Be mature, be non-attached, keep letting go, forgiving, and just keep moving through your experience. And you're going to see there's going to be a laughter that's going to start coming from you, where you're going to start laughing at everything, because you realize as long as you're not emotionally attached to it or really freaking out or mentally thinking a bunch about it, it's not going to affect you at all, right? You just keep doing you, keep going in your groove, and everything's going to be fine and divine, right? The moment you dip into the dysfunction or try to swim in that misery and really just let yourself seep in it, it's going to get rocky for you. Okay? Because again, we just have to make the choice that we don't want that experience. We don't want to swim in that. And so that also is a lesson for everyone too. So I love you all. Let's get to cards real quick. Let's see. Number on the wall. What is it gonna be for us? Oh, that's a nice rhyme. Okay. So, okay. Wrote down the number in my book, number 1 through 100. So, for those of you who are new on Telegram, if you go back to the chat room before that you found the join as listener post, there's a comment box underneath where you can put your number. But basically, 1 through 100, just kind of fill into it with your heart space, use your intuition, your clairaudience, or whatever your connection with your angels, and see what number it is. And then whoever gets closest or lands on the dot, you get an angel card pulling. So the same thing for YouTube and Facebook as well. Let's see. Awesome. So again, while that's being done, we're going to go ahead and pull a collective card for everyone tonight. It's a lot of nasty stuff coming. I've had this really intense experience the last 20 or 48 hours with my lymph node and the tonsil, and just a lot of stuff secreting and purging. Yeah, it's yucky stuff. But it was interesting though too, because these intense thoughts of COVID and even bronchitis for whatever reason started trying to come in and trying to attach. And that's the thing too, the lymph nodes in the neck, and the neck, the throat chakra, your expression, the control. There's so many different things that we do on a daily basis that energy sits in the neck area, right? And a lot of times, again, people get sore throats, or they don't feel like they can talk, or they can't swallow. People just freak out and they go dump a bunch of drugs or things in their system, or they go to the doctor, get a shot or a booster. Like, you gotta stop, like, piling shit into your body. It's not gonna help you, okay? The more you surrender, the faster and quicker you surrender, and just go with your body. Just work with it, whatever's trying to do, and give attention, focus, attentiveness to it. It will literally speed everything up so fast, right? What most people would experience is, like, again, like about 24 to like a little bit of 48 hours ago, like, honestly, that would probably send someone to the ER. And I just sat with it, worked through it, the last 2 days, and now it's gone. And now the swelling's gone down, and now it's just basically it's just clearing and pulling out from the inside the epidermis and wherever it's at, the lymph nodes and around my throat. It's just interesting, But like the quicker you just kind of get out of the fear and the whole like thing, like you're gonna die or something, and just be mature, be a support for your body. Like, okay, what I gotta do? I gotta work. I was like gargling baking soda. I was like brushing my teeth a lot, and like obviously like my glands were secreting a lot of bacteria. So the more I would clear it, the more I would work and like clear that out, spit it out in the sink, and not ingest that, the quicker my body could get rid of it, right? But if you're just gonna sit there and let your like self hurt, or just like go further into it with thoughts and stuff like that, you're gonna make your condition worse, right? So again, don't attach to the whole COVID thing. Don't think you have COVID. Don't go into that crap. Don't even take it on. This is dumb, right? Your body is responding. It's getting through things. And the less attached you are to it, the less you try to project onto your body what's going on out of fear, the quicker your body can do its work, get out of it, and then it's like, it's gone. Like it's nothing, right? So don't make yourself worse than it is, okay? All right. Moving forward, thank you, Angels, for that topic point. All right, what are we gonna do with cards? Animal cards for the collective. Let's see. Candace said lots of sinus and lymphatic drainage too. Yeah, it's gross stuff. Is everyone having that experience? That's cool. Throat chakra. Oh, I love you, Linda. Yeah, throat chakra. Lots of stuff, yucky stuff coming out. At least for me. Apparently for a couple people. Whew. All right. Let's see what's on that card. Number 34, Hummingbird, be here now. Interesting. Total topper to the cake that we just made today on the live stream. Beautiful. Beautiful purple. I guess I'll describe it to Telegram because you can't see it. But it's like a beautiful purple background, green, emerald green, golden, hummingbird with like jewels in its fur or feathers. It's very pretty. All right, number 34. The hummingbird's wings beat so swiftly it can hover in seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. Hummingbird spirit comes to heart you that the beauty and sweetness of life is in the eternal now, the timeless present. Here and now you are becoming the person you wish to be, to have the experiences you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere. The choices can be dazzling. Hummingbird Spirit's message to you is that to have no need to go about in search of something better. For all that you require and desire is before you. You will know this as you become still, feeling your connection to Spirit who loves you unconditionally and will always provide for you. Nectar is everywhere, but Hummingbird Spirit is here to heart you that flying from flower to flower and being all over the place wastes precious energy. Be still, be here now, in the present moment, enjoying the sweetness and sustenance available to you. Focus on one flower today, just one. Nectar is there for you, and Hummingbird Spirit's message is that wherever you put your attention, there your energy flows. Are you focused on the sweetness or on finding something better somewhere else? Always yearning and feeling that life is not enough and you are not enough. All you seek is right here and right now. Appreciate the present and you will see that you are where you need to be and enjoying what you are entitled to. We'll cross that word out, no one's entitled to anything. To see what you are in abundance of, thank you angels, to enjoy in this timeless and perfect moment. Beautiful. right, and then we got a sassy card for the collective. Let's see what the sassy unicorns have to say to us all. It's kind of funny. Dun, 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 dun. Funny. Alright, so sassy unicorns say, stop fucking whining. And on the back of that card it says, no one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world. So do it. Boom! Some tough love from the sassy unicorns. I like it. Sassy. Alright. And moving forward. And we got a Beyond Lemuria card. Jaden said, my throat chakra has been bugging me for months, man. Yeah, it's pretty gross stuff. Grateful that it's clearing, getting out. I mean, definitely the body feels a lot lighter and more energy, and the energy channels are clearing now once that gunk gets out, you know. There was interesting moments where it was, like, really flooding my body system. Like, I noticed moments where, like, my body would process it, and then it would, like, dump it into my bloodstream to move it out of the body, but then I would notice, like, the different extremes, my energy, how awake I felt, and then out of nowhere I would get really tired and almost like felt like there was mud in my body. Like my veins felt like there's nothing but mud, and I just had to sit down for a moment and like catch my breath because my body felt exerted. And then after like a couple minutes it would clear, and then I would like literally bounce back into energy. I was fine, just moving around again. So like literally it's just being present with your body and like paying attention to what it needs. If you need to have a moment, sit down, you know, don't, you know, push yourself, and then once you give yourself space, your body can work through it quick and then bounce back, and then you're good as new, you know. So being compassionate and patient with yourself, so very important. All right. What is this card? Beyond Lemuria, what's it gonna be? Ooh, it's a pretty card. Full spectrum. That's what it says. It's a beautiful angel woman with, actually it looks like a pixie or a fairy. Fairy woman with all of her chakra flowers aligned and a diamond at the top of her crown chakra. And there's a Merkaba in the ground too. Step out of the black and white mentality of good and bad. Honor the full spectrum of life and see through fresh eyes. When we judge something, we create a story around it, and often these stories are limiting. Over a lifetime, we subconsciously gather so many of these stories, create a space of no story for miraculous healing and crystallizing new paths. This space empowers us to know our truth and be all we are. Embrace creation in all her colors, including the raw, muddy, earthbound shadow parts of a situation, to determine whether your stories are limiting your perspective. Ooh, there's that energy again. What is blocking your perspective is seeing the full picture, right? So now we got to flip the table, see what's the piece missing, right? So let's see. Embrace creation in all our colors, including the raw, muddy, earthbound shadow parts of a situation, to determine whether your stories are limiting your perspective. Let the compost of the challenges you have overcome feed new shoots and blossoms. Pretty. That's a pretty card. Alrighty then. Let's see. Is it time? I think it's time. I'm going to call it time. Alrighty, folks. What do you have as numbers? Alright. So over on YouTube, we got 5489. Oh, wait. I didn't share the number I got. Alright. And I actually forgot what it was again. 62. 62 is the number. So let's see what have we got on that. So we got a 5489, got a 9843, and then over here, charities at 37, 46, 96, 55, 37. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. And then, where is that post? Let's see. And then over on Telegram, we have 17, 66, 55, and 62. Bam. So Jacob O got 62 on the dot. Good job, Jacob. Did anyone else get 62? I don't feel so. Just let me double check real quick. I think someone got close, but not exactly. Awesome. Alrighty. Congratulations, Jacobo. So we're going to get on the Sassy Unicorn cards first real quick, and then we're going to get to the animal cards after. Alright. Let's see. Sassy Unicorns say it's not everyone else's fault, it's yours. Also, collect a card for everyone. You are a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others for your shit. That's some beautiful, tough love from Sassy Unicorns. Don't take anything personally. The angels love to cook up a storm of triggers because it's all healing in the end. So they love it. Let's see. Animal card. Let's see. What have we got? And everything really is just about perspective. You just look at the perspective and look at it as I drop the card. So we'll look at that one. And that is Electric Eel Spirit. Interesting. Bring your ideas to life. Ooh. Interesting. Wait a minute. I feel there's an idea mounting. Let's go ahead and pull. What's the angels? Let's see. Where's the other? There we are. Let's pull one of these. There's a whole thing being pulled out from the angels for you. Let's see. Oh, yes. All right. They're coming at you hot with these codes. All right. So the first card from the Sassy Unicorns was, you are a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others for your shit. It's not everyone's fault. It's yours. So apparently there's something you definitely feel a victim by, or something you feel disempowered by other people, but also they're adding more to it. So with the Electric Eel Spirit, they're talking about bringing your ideas to life. So number 24. Just hear me out on it. It's very interesting. All right. So seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of Electric Eel Spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you aren't meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started bringing your idea to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path, so do not be afraid to act. Explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come, for Spirit wants to shower you with love, success, and abundance that you hope to experience. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for you today. Ideas need to percolate, as they rarely download in detailed form. Have you too quickly dismissed an epiphany because you couldn't see where it might lead you? Have you rushed to follow the muse without taking time to contemplate the meaning of your aha moment? Perhaps your dream will take a different form than you first imagined. Ding ding. Morphing into something else that is even better. Spirit's plans are often hard to discern, but so much more satisfying once they have taken over form from your own predetermination. Maybe your big idea is taking more time to shape than you expected. Have you considered that you are meant to learn something in the process of bringing it into being? Commit to transformation and to learning any lessons this new venture will bring, and soon you will see that your aha was even more valuable than you realized when you first felt it electrify you. All right, so obviously you have lots of ideas brewing. You're a creator. You obviously have a lot of potential and skills, but apparently the whole blame or something holding in something, the blame energy of blame, whether you're blaming a person or a group of people or a company or anything like that, of why you cannot reach your potential or reach your dreams or what you wish to create with yourself. There's something definitely holding that back, And then the last card was communication co-creation. So I feel they're going to fill in the gap with this one. We normally think of information as something that can be written or spoken. But if something is multidimensional, it is almost impossible to share it with words. How are you communicating beyond words? Something may be getting lost in transition. An issue may be cleared through improved communication. Listen carefully to what someone has to say, without interruption. Furthermore, it may feel scary to share vulnerable truths, but this may be the only way forward. This card also encourages greater exploration in the realms of telepathy, healing, and arts such as poetry, painting, and music, where there is collective communication beyond the mind, it says. So I mean, like, that's important too. Like, and I feel like combine those all together, like the communication is probably the biggest part you have to work on with yourself. Maybe there's something you're not expressing, something you feel intimidated or more shy about that you have not shared, but that could change everything. It could actually change your whole potential, what's at stake or what's going on, if you just expressed more, communicated clearly, or communicated something else different than what you've already been doing the whole time, right? So if it's been the same thing over and over again and it hasn't been working, change it up, right? And that might help change everything. So, but if we keep getting that same broken, redundant cycle and nothing changes, we get bitter, resentful, we start blaming, it's like it's everyone else's fault, stuff like that. Got to pull ourselves back from all of that and just look at it ourselves. What do we need to do more of to provide that clarity, to build that bridge, to open that that whole gap more, and really just bridge it. So love you. I love all of you. All right, I don't see any other questions. All right, I feel that is about it. I mean, basically, we're gonna be back on Thursday again. Just so hard everyone, Thursday live stream's gonna be way earlier. It's gonna be around 6 p.m. Eastern time that day, and then we have the quantum healing workshop course after that. And that's for everyone who's signing up for that. Of course, you can get the link for it on the website, 5dfulldisclosure.org, and go to session or mentorship. And then also tomorrow is again the full moon, but also the paint party as well. So get excited for that, but also show up if the painting party, if you want to paint, create, color, draw, whatever it is, and just be in a collective group space. Play some music, have fun, show off your art and stuff like that with everyone. It's kind of that same vibe, and it's just really cool, Or it can be depressing on your couch by yourself watching Netflix, like a bump on the log eating Cheetos with no life. So interaction, communication, experience with other people, it's going to help you. It's going to help pull you out of your shit more. It's going to help you not sit in your dark thoughts all the time. It's going to help you not just go into depression because, you're going to be around other people, exchanging energy and co-creating. So it's going to wake you up more. It's going to help the energy move and transform, right? So just don't go into it. Get out of it. Push yourself. Again, time is up for a lot of these things. There's no more procrastination and putting things off anymore because you want to, or you think you can, or you think it's up to you. That's a serious wake-up call coming now for the collective, where things are about to flip massively on you. And so everything you have been procrastinating on, you're going to get the flip of that experience to realize why you need to speed it up now and get out of it in a very simple way. So love yourself, be compassionate, forgive, let things go, move through it. It does not have to be hard, right? It does not have to be painful. It does not have to be a massive suffering, miserable ocean you have to swim through just to get back to love, right? The quicker non-attached you are, and just to see this as, it's a big movie, right? Keep letting it go, and the more you push for joy, the more you push for unity and love and compassion, forgiveness, the more you push for that, you're going to create more of that experience, right? And that feels way better feeling those frequencies through a day versus all the lower crap that you can choose to feel, right? But then you're going to have a shitty day. So don't do that to yourself. Love yourself and push for the higher, okay? I love you all. Take care of yourself. We'll be back on Thursday again early, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Take care of yourself. And until then, I love you.